Welcome back to another episode of Demo Mondays. Demo Mondays is a video series published on Mondays where I invite creators of Amazon seller softwares and I ask them to present their products just like this on the screen. And my next guest is BidX. And BidX is presented by the co-founder Max Hofmann. Hello, Max.
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you. Nice to be here today.
And can you tell us what is it? BidX, what do you do, and what problems do you solve for Amazon sellers?
Well, BidX is a tool that supports you in automatically optimizing your paid search on Amazon. So we analyzed millions of keywords and we found out what's important if you want to optimize your ads. And I think every Amazon seller, every Amazon vendor who is advertising on Amazon or who wants to advertise on Amazon know that there are some difficulties in optimizing those campaigns. And the problem we focus on is unoptimized PPC campaigns and how we can improve that. So the basis to show up for an ad is your listing. So first, you have to make sure that all the relevant ads you want to show up are within your listing and Amazon can find you for that. But many people don't know how to manage their PPC. Many people don't know what is a good click-through ratio or how many clicks should I wait to adjust a bit. So there are many KPIs needed to know what you want to do. And even there are many information on the internet available. It's not too many, and there are only some good blogs where you get those. And if you know what you're doing, then PPC optimization is just super time consuming. So if you get only 5 SKUs, it's not a big deal. You can do that easily by yourself. But if you have 50 or if you have 5,000, well, that's probably almost impossible and will take a lot of time. And so it was for us. So when we started BidX a year ago, I found myself in a position where I spent over 4 hours a week optimizing our PPC campaigns. And I was searching for a tool who did simple rules and simple automatic adjustments. So I could say, okay, if the click is 15 and my ACOS is above my target, please decrease my bid. And I found many PPC softwares that help you, that analyze the tools, but none of those did automatically those adjustments or the keyword management. And then we thought, okay, perhaps there are others who are in the same situation. And so we built our first MVP, and that was Excel VBA. So you downloaded your bulk files from Amazon, then you put that on the second page of the Excel and you inserted like the rules, if this, then that, in the Excel, and then you hit the run button and it did it for you. But we quite soon realized that the user experience was terrible. But we published it to a group with a couple of thousand sellers, and the response was phenomenal. So we had a couple of hundred comments below who wanted to test this. So we decided to push it to the web application, still with bulk upload, bulk download, and soon connected the Amazon API. And only a web tool then could handle all the management automatically. And in addition to that, like if you found your optimal bid once, you probably have to do that next week again, because like a new seller perhaps from China appeared and they do really aggressive PPC. So the bid you paid last week is probably not enough anymore. So you have to adjust again. So the process is continuous. And I think that if you do your FBA business right, that is already a really time-consuming business. So besides your daily task, you probably want to expand to new markets. And the PPC optimization is really one of the jobs that just have to be done. And within the Amazon Seller Central backend, it's awful. It's really complicated. You have to request the reports, you have to download, bulk upload, and so on. Like that was not a proper solution. And so what we did, we came up with a tool with BidX that checks all your performance data on a daily basis and then adjusts the bits and manages the keywords automatically for you.
And we can hear that you are coming from Europe, right? It's made in Germany, the software. So which marketplaces are covered by your tool?
So first we started with Germany, but then we soon realized that this is a product which can scale. So for now, we are available on all marketplaces where you find Amazon advertising. So in North America, in Europe, as well as in India. And we support Seller Central as well as vendors via AMS and headline search ads.
And what kind of users are you targeting? You mentioned that maybe with fewer SKUs, you don't need such tool, but is it suitable for beginners or advanced sellers?
That's a good question. So our goal was to build a scalable product. So it does not matter if you have 5 SKUs or 5,000. With BidX, you can manage all of them. And if you are a small seller, then probably you'll only save little time because management of PPC only takes little time. But if you are a big seller, then it takes a lot of time. And we build all of our structure that it scales and that it does as much as possible automatically.
And is it a quick process to link the Seller Central account or vendor account?
I will show you in a bit. The setup process is really easy structured. So mainly you have 4 steps. You connect your Seller Central account or AMS account. You pull the data. Then you just structure the campaigns. And then off you go. And you can start using BidX.
Perfect. So let's jump into the software.
Now you can see the first page when you register to our tool. The first thing that will appear is the setup process. Within the setup process, you can decide if you want to connect North America seller account or AMS account, or Europe for seller account and AMS account. After you did that, you come to the dashboard. At the dashboard, you see all your current performance from the last month and the KPIs of your current KPIs and of your current performance. We have on the dashboard within the chart once the daily value, but because Monday is much better than a Friday, we thought that it's better to show the average. And so you can see if there is a trend or if it's going up or if it's going down. The heart of the tool is the management area. Within the management area, we have 3 tabs. Currently, you see the rules tab. So within over here, you control all the actions that should happen automatically. When you first register to us, please go to the second tab called Structure. At the structure, we loaded all your SKUs and found corresponding ad groups. What is corresponding ad groups? This is our core idea how to manage SKUs at scale. So it's known that for one SKU, you should at least create an auto campaign and manual campaigns. And if you do manual campaigns, you can do broad and exact or phrase and exact, but at least like two manual campaigns to build up a structure that is precise and that covers like all the possibilities you've got at Amazon. So what we do is during the setup process, we find all those ad groups automatically. And we do this by small identifiers within the name or by just checking which SKU is in an ad group. If we did not find all of them, you can check the syntax. And then you see that some of the campaigns did not have any identifier like exact, phrase, or broad. So if you want to just accept that, you can click accept and update. And then we really recheck all the corresponding ad groups. And that makes it possible to have it for 5 SKUs or for 5,000. Because first we thought about creating rules for different. So when this happens, then you can move it into another ad group and put it negative over there and positive over there. but we thought that does not scale because you need to create a rule for every single product. So what's behind the logic over here is that we will automatically move keywords around these corresponding ad groups. So for instance, if a keyword performs not as good as it should, or if it performs very good in an auto campaign, we can take this and put it as negative in the auto campaign and immediately also put it as prod match in the manual prod campaign and put it as exact match in the exact campaign, but also put it as negative exact in the prod campaign. So that would be already 5 steps you have to do manually, which does the tool now for you. So once the structure is set up, you can go to the rules. Always at the top, we have a small explanation and a video you can check. And over there, we will guide you through the functionality, and you can get an explanation again. So within the rules section, we have mainly 2 possibilities. So the first possibility is to create a so-called automation. With an automation, you can create an automation that applies to some campaigns, or some ad groups, which contains, for instance, magic. And we can also exclude some keywords if we say, okay, we have like one keyword that is very competitive. So the people benefit by excluding the keywords they don't want to have adjusted or where they want to have higher ACOS. And then you just enter an ACOS you want to hit, for instance, 25%, and you store that. And then we now created test automation with a campaign magic, where the requirement is 25% of the ACOS. And the keyword management I just talked about earlier will be done automatically. So that is the function probably most of the sellers will use. Because like I said before, it is difficult to optimize your PPC campaigns if you don't know the KPIs you have to adjust those. So for instance, what is the good conversion rate? Or how many clicks should I wait? So within our algorithm, we use the knowledge of analyzing of many, many million keywords and found especially the dots which then could be connected, and trained a neural net to find out, for instance, if a keyword which does not have a conversion yet will convert in future or won't. But if you say, okay, I want to have a little more control, we've got something that's called individual rule. So in an individual rule, you can now set everything you would like to. So I'd say we call it tests 2. And then again, I can say, where should it be applied? So for instance, if I got an auto campaign or a manual campaign or only the exact campaign, and I can again add as many applying 2 fields as I want to. Then I can check, okay, which keywords should be checked? Do I focus only on the exact ones, or do I want all of them? And within the requirement section, that's probably the most powerful part. I can say, okay, the keyword performance, or for instance, the search term, if I go for auto campaign. So many tools do not optimize auto campaigns, but over here you can even optimize the auto campaigns because we also check the search term performance. So you can go and say the search term clicks should be higher than, for instance, 15. And the general keyword performance, for instance, should be lower than 30% in ACOS. And my click-through rate, again, of the search term, for instance, should be higher than 0.4%. And then I can decide, okay, which action should be done? Do I want to increase the bid? Do I want to decrease the bid? And for instance, over here, I can say, if this one appears, it seems to be good, and then I can increase the bid of the keyword by 20%. And over here, I've got now the possibility to manually accept negative keyword management, to add those, like I said before, in an auto campaign rule, add negative exact and phrase. But if we have an exact corresponding ad group, then probably it doesn't make any sense to add a negative exact over there, so we won't do that. And we can also add the keyword management to put it as positive bid. And there we can say, okay, do we want to take the default bid of the ad group, or do we want to decide an individual bid, which we can set over here? For instance, if you go for a broad campaign with €1 and for an exact campaign with €2, you can only set one individual bid over here, but if you set that as a default bid in the ad groups, then we will add that with different bids. And on the bottom below, we can choose in which marketplaces that should be activated. And this is also one main functionality, that it doesn't matter if you are a seller or a vendor, and if you operate in Europe or in North America. We put all those accounts together, and you can manage them easily from one interface without switching to all the different accounts. If we get now many rules that can be complicated, so what we did is we created folders. And in folders, you can easily drag and drop the rules and just put it like on a desktop into different folders to keep an overview of all the rules. You can easily duplicate a rule, pause a rule, edit a rule, or delete them. For instance, over here, I can delete those rules we just created. And now we only have the manual rules and the controlling automated SKU rules. Below the rules section, we've got the preview. That is also one of our USPs, I'd say. The preview allows you to check the adjustments that will happen the next day. And if you do not like what's going to be adjusted, you can always adjust your rules and also change priority. So priority is another function where the sellers can benefit. Because, for instance, if your current ACoS is 60%, so that's sometimes high, and you create one rule that says, if my ACoS is higher than 40, and a second rule, my ACoS is higher than 20. So both rules would be applied. But with our priority, we only apply the rule that is on the top. So if I put the one with 40 above the one with 20, then the one with 40 is applied first, and then the one with 20 is applied second, but it's always only one rule that's going to be applied. So below, we got that preview function, and normally it takes a moment. But if it's loaded, you see the bit changes that are going to happen. So you see the country, you see the keyword, the campaign, ad group, and the keyword, and you see the current value, the new value, the change, and which rule applied over there. And besides the bit changes, we also got the new keywords. And over here you see, for instance, it was one new keyword was added with a bit of 77 cents. And we added a new negative keyword, which was negative phrase, new keyword with a negative exact. And over here, we did not add a new keyword that is from search term, probably from an auto campaign, because that already exists. So if the keyword already exists, we do not add it, of course. And on the bottom of that, you find the logs. So when I click on the log, you can check which changes happened in the past. And again, you get the area with the bits, and you get the area with the new keywords, where you can check what was happened where. You see in the campaign auto, in the ad group Anzeigegruppe 1, there was a new keyword created because this rule was applied over there. So we thought, okay, when you create manual rules, that is for specific, like for top sellers, you can do that. If you got like large portfolios, then you have to manage many ad groups and many SKUs with different ACoS. And what we thought, again, with the scaling objective, we built a controlling tab. So within the controlling tab, you again see all your products, and you then can set target ACoS, which you want to hit, and you just activate the automation. So this will create an automation, which I showed earlier, and you can do that either manually, or you can do that by simply download our template. We will store all your current SKUs and targets within it, and then you re-upload it, and then everything applies, and you can do that even if you've got many hundreds or 1,000 SKUs. So this is a simple way to manage different targets at scale. And you can always see the picture of your current product. You can go directly to the Amazon product page, and you can also set an alternative name, which will appear. And currently, you can only set a target ACOS, but soon we will also apply all other profits and costs from Amazon, so we can automatically calculate, for instance, the break-even ACOS.
And one question: when you upload the CSV file, it means it will create automatically all these entries on this page. And I see on the right side you can disable or activate. So when I will upload the CSV file with 500 rows, will all these automations be activated, or I have to click one by one to activate?
You can just activate within the downloaded CSV file. Just select 0 for no activation and 1 for activation.
Okay.
So just 1 where you want to have it activated, and a 0 where you don't want to have it.
Okay, great.
Yes. So this is mainly the management area, is really the heart of our tool, where all the magic happens, I'd say, where all the automated actions happen. And of course, we get Discover feature. Within the Discover feature, we again can check all marketplaces from one point, and we can go deeper into a marketplaces. We can see all the campaigns, the current cost, sales, and all the different KPIs, and go deeper, check for search terms, and that without downloading any bulk files or wait for those. And this for different date ranges, for sponsored products, as well for headline search ads, and easily without any hustle from one place. And search, for instance, if I want to search, got a little animation over there, and then we can check all the performances of the search terms, for instance, or for the SKUs. And generally, since we started over the last 12 months, there were a couple of other tools that were created, and I think what makes BidX special, or the USP about our program, is that we got this large corresponding ad group structure where we can manage keywords and negative keywords really at scale. You got another function where the sellers really benefits. That's called the sync function. So what does the sync function do? We check all your ad groups, and for instance, if we got an ad group over here which is broad corresponding ad group, and for instance there's a phrase keyword in it or an exact keyword, we will pause that and automatically move it in the right exact ad group. And also we make sure, for instance, that all exact keywords are put as negative exact in the broad ad group, but not in the auto ad group, because putting negative keywords in the auto ad group will also affect your ads showing up on competitive ASINs. Because even if you see an ASIN in your search term report, that means that the person who visited came from one specific search term to that listing. And if that search term is set as negative, you will appear anymore on that competitive listing anymore. So what's special as well is that you can use the automation or a really, really profound individual rule. So for instance, we have many agencies which are clients, and those come from Google or from Facebook advertisements where they are used to those rules and they got their set. So especially for those, it is possible to optimize their advertisement for their clients really easily. They save a lot of time and very precisely. And they also support our clients if they need help in setting up their PPC structure. And I think one special thing is that also all accounts, it doesn't matter if seller or vendor from Europe or from AMS, are in one place put together. So that's basically BidX.
Great, thank you. And if we have seen all the features, shall we talk about the pricing? Sure.
So for now, we offer 3 plans. The first one, first of all, we offer a free trial for 14 days where you have unlimited access to all of our features. And after that, we've got a free plan for small sellers, because once we were small as well, and at that time we used many of free tools, and we really like that, and we want to support also small sellers and give them the possibility to have professional keyword management for free to start. And then if you got the first SKU set up and your FBA business is going well, then we have one plan that is up to 2,000 keywords for 29 euros and a professional package up to 20,000 keywords for 49 euros. And if you get more keywords than that, you can contact sales and we will offer individual pricing. And we offer also a yearly payment where you get the 12 months for the price of 3 months. But we have to admit that those prices are limited, and we will increase them probably soon.
Great. Thank you very much for a presentation of BidX. And can you reveal us what future features are you planning to release for your users?
That's a good question. So our roadmap is really long. Our goal is to create and optimize Amazon advertisement automatically. So within the next months, we will have small improvements within the tool. We'll have local translations. So for European sellers, for instance, in German. And then the next step is the crawling of organic and paid search positions, and also suggest or create automatically new keywords for the users. So our goal is that somebody has an SKU and he wants to advertise it, and he says, go. And then we will do everything for it. So after that, we will connect the MWS to access all the sales data and get all the costs to automatically calculate what's, for instance, the break-even ACOS, until which we can push the campaigns forward, and also, again, try to automate as much as possible. And later on, we would like to control all advertisement possibilities on Amazon. So we want to cover all of them, like coupons or discounts or lightning deals. Those are really powerful, and there are not many tools who are focusing on that. But if you see Amazon as a really big place where you can advertise on many different places, that's huge opportunities. And in the long term, of course, we want to find external traffic for Amazon. So automatically create Facebook ads. That's probably the direction where we're going.
Oh, that's nice. And the support, how does it work? What's the best way to reach out to your support team?
So within BidX and also on the website, we got small in-app chat. So that's probably the easiest way to contact us. But you can always call us, write us a mail, or use Skype, for instance. And over there, we can also schedule a setup call where we'll introduce you again to the tool and especially find your requirements and your needs and how we can support you.
Great. And do you have any offer for Demo Mondays viewers to use your BidX software?
We thought about that, and besides the 14 days free trial, we offer the first month completely for free. So no matter how many keywords you've got, we offer that for free, and you can test BidX for that time. And within that time, you already will see that the direction where it is going.
And how can people claim this offer?
Well, when you purchase a plan, you just have to enter the code DEMOMONDAYS. I think you will post it below the video. And if you enter DEMOMONDAYS, all in capital letters, then the first month is cut off.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Max, for presenting this new tool. I hope it will be useful for many people, and good luck in your business. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.